Hi there, this is Confessions of a Crap Programmer, Episode 2, and I'm Rob Evans. In all the excitement, I completely forgot to mention my name last time. First, I want to say thank you to everyone who subscribed and commented and upvoted after the last video. I wasn't expecting to get that much of a response, and all I can say is I hope I can make something worthwhile here. So, if you watched the first video and read the comments for it, you'll know that I presented a solution for moving sprites in 16 directions at a constant speed, and that I had absolute confidence in my solution. Well, then I woke up, and my tea was cold again, because it turns out in fact that I was completely
wrong.
So, not long after I uploaded the video, I received an email and also a comment explaining that my solution didn't actually solve the main problem I was concerned with, which was keeping the speed of movement constant. If you read all the comments, you'll have seen one from Anthony Flack, who pointed out another problem that I'm going to have dealing with acceleration. I'd already been thinking about this, but Anthony suggested a way of approaching the problem, and I really wanted to thank him for that because Google isn't always very helpful with things like this, and the solution he described isn't something that I would have come up with on my own. He also mentioned that my movement solution would produce a diamond shape rather than a circle, and I found that quite intriguing initially, although I think I get what he means now. But either way, it brings me to another comment from Silly Orb, who mentioned several things actually that I'll cover properly elsewhere. But for now, they offered me some reassurance that my scepticism of maths may not be completely unfounded when working with 8-bit computers. And I was actually already thinking along these lines for how to do this follow-up video. Because I really do hate maths. And I'd hate even more to have a nice, fun video game project be completely ruined by having to use maths unless I really have to. So what I'm going to do is put everything to the test and make a quick experiment, a demo program, to put the so-called correct answer head-to-head against my good, honest, hard-working solution to see which one gives the best results. So before I go into all of that, let's have a look at the problem with my solution from the last video. Here's my diagram of x and y velocity values that I want to add to the current x and y locations of my sprite. I created these values by taking what I knew to be true, which was the zeros and the 512s, and then splitting the difference to create the diagonals and so on. But here's where I got an email from Howard Price, who will need no introduction for the Sam Coupe community, but he's a prodigious musician and he also happens to make Sam Coupe games, and he's told me that he's had to go through the exact same process of learning to apply maths and trigonometry. And he not only explained that it is in fact impossible to achieve a constant speed of movement without using trigonometry, but he also made a diagram for me with the correct solution. He also gave me a link to a YouTube video about trigonometry that I'll put in the description for this video for people to check out, because despite my reservations, it did actually help quite a bit. So let's get started. We only need to work out the values for this quarter of the circle, so therefore for 16 directions we only need to work out these three numbers for the x velocities to remake all the values for both the x and y diagrams. I've got a calculator here, and I can use the diagram that Howard made to do the solution for 45 degrees, and it really is as simple as going 512 times sin 45, and that gives us 362. The 128 and 384 in my diagram are for 22.5 and 67.5 degrees respectively, and I can work those out as well. So again, I just go 512 times sin 22.5 to get 195.9, which we can round up to 196. And then finally 512 times sin 67.5, which gives us 473. And now the diagram can be remade like this, and I can go and have a lie down to recover. I won't pretend that I understand it completely, but from a practical point of view, it really is that simple. And while I'm only doing 16 directions here, you can use that calculation to work out all 360 degrees of movement to create a really big lookup table. And so this is Arkanoid with the new values, and you can see how the ball is quite a bit faster, which did surprise me a bit. I wasn't expecting that much of a speed up. I was a bit too cautious when I recorded the last video, and I didn't try to hit the ball with the edge of the bat in case I missed it, but I'll have a go this time so you can see all of the angles that we've worked out. You can also see that my collision routine doesn't work at all, and the ball bounces into the bricks rather than away. So, and spoiler alert here, if you are using lookup tables, then there really is no excuse not to use the trigonometry solution. It makes no difference to your program, and as the solution I offered wasn't really a solution anyway, because it didn't produce a constant speed, there's nothing to gain by doing things badly. But I'm still very interested in comparing them side by side to see what the difference actually looks like on screen. And I'm going to kill two birds with one stone here, because I was planning to make a video just for Sam Coupe users who are still exclusively working in Sam Basic and would like to give machine code a try or have tried it, but like me, just hit a wall immediately. So I'm going to put together a really simple program that will move two balls starting from the same location, one using the numbers that I came up with and one using the trigonometry solution. And I find the quickest way to work on the SAM is just to make a blank disk with SimCoupe and then boot up Comet. Now, I've already recorded about half that tutorial, but as it's already running at 20 minutes or so, I've decided to make it a separate video, which I'll release in the next few weeks. What I'll do instead is just show the results, because it really reinforces the comments and help I received from everybody, and it will wrap up this video very nicely. I'll run two versions. This is version 1, and before I run it, I'll mention that the white and blue ball is the one using my numbers, and the grey and red ball is the evil one that uses the trig solution. Right away, you can see that the trig solution is moving both faster and at a constant speed. The directions don't look too bad for my solution, but by the time we've done all 16 directions, you can clearly see a diamond shape and a circular shape, which is pretty awesome. I couldn't believe it when I first ran the program, because it is exactly what was predicted by Anthony Flack, and I didn't need to do anything to force the point. But I wanted to compare the directions more closely as a last-ditch attempt at some sort of partial victory, but also because they don't actually look that far off. So here's the same program running again, with just the routine for clearing the old sprites off the screen disabled so we can see each direction more clearly. And I was really pleased and relieved to see this, because the logic of my solution that seemed so obvious to me does basically work. And I started thinking about how you could play with this to make a cool transition effect between a diamond and a circle shape. I've been playing around with using pixels to make effects like the teleporter in the Space Adventure Simulator 2, and also for star fields, and I'm now going to see if I could do something with diamonds and circle shapes. So there you have it. Thanks again to everyone who responded to the last video. I've learned how to do it properly. I did some actual maths, and I only cried a little bit once or twice. The next video will be about getting started with Sam Coupe assembly programming the easy way, and I hope to have it uploaded in a few weeks' time. So bye for now.